We're here on the north side of the rotunda, seeing how secret our secret societies really are. Do you know anything about the secret societies here at UVA?
Nothing other than the fancy letters around the university.
Which ones do you see the most?
Z.
I really don't know a lot about them, but I'm interested to learn more.
Okay, have you seen any of their symbols on grounds, like the Z, the IMP?
Yes, I know that there's an IMP maybe on the Kim building, I think.
Do you know anybody in a secret society here at UVA?
No.
Do you know anything about them at all?
I see their symbols painted around everywhere. That's about it.
No, I don't know anything about them. I did see that scavenger hunt thing though.
Did you attempt to solve it at all?
Nah, bro, it seemed way too difficult for me.
As you can see, the majority of UVA students know very little about the societies here on grounds. They have been a part of the university since the first class in 1825, but have been able to remain anonymous throughout the decades. Currently, there are 23 active secret societies on grounds. Our team reached out to multiple of them, however only heard a response back from the 13th society. We were lucky enough to sit down with one of their members for an anonymous interview. A couple questions. First, just a little bit about your history.
Yeah, so the 13th Society was created on February 13th, 1898, so over 100 years old, which is pretty crazy. Originally, the club was called the 13 Club, which is why became a 13th Society. The really long history of it is the 13th Society used to be a feeder society to the 7 Society. It's no longer, hasn't been for a very long time. But originally, you would first become a 13, and then some of the 13s would become a 7, and had some kind of ties. But again, very long time ago, just kind of lore at this point.
Got it. So speaking a little bit further from the history, but just kind of what are the foundations of the society as a whole?
Yeah, of course. Our first motto, technically, is superstition dwells only in the ignorant mind. So we'll have that ending all of our emails and anything we put out. To me, this kind of means that I think it's a mysterious kind of phrase. It's kind of, spooky and is a fun secret society motto. When I think about it, is that everything kind of has a purpose, and trying to understand the inner linkings of the world is pretty exciting, and then knowing that there's something going on around the background. But more importantly, I think what really defines our society is more about recognizing people or groups or orgs or anything like that, or ideas that should be recognized that are contributing to grounds, and also specifically on groups that aren't usually highlighted or popular, or people who wouldn't usually speak up for themselves. But really, we want to use kind of our quote-unquote platform to amplify other voices and be able to spread enlightenment and information that we deem important to others, and also give contribution and light and recognize other people on grounds who are doing important things.
So what does that platform usually look like? What kinds of events and sort of traditions do you involve yourself with on grounds?
So the first one that really aligns that is public. So there's only a couple of things that we do publicly. We do other things behind the scenes. But what we really like to do is every year on Founders Day, which is Thomas Jefferson's birthday, in the past, a long time ago, they used to put out a list of the 13 members. It was these are the members, and it was kind of a whole, oh, congratulations, how cool we are. But cool people in the past, that's not really what we want to do anymore. That's kind of self-centered. So instead, we create a list of 13 important orgs and display it all over grounds to, again, highlight, look, you guys are doing some really cool things. We see it, we recognize it, and want to share with the rest of grounds. And hopefully someone sees the list, and it just brings light to them. Another tradition that we do, which is kind of similar actually to our main idea or goals, is we do the scavenger hunt every year, which we release very shortly. And it is usually, the goal is just have fun and bring people together. And it's, fun during Halloween. But also inside of the scavenger hunt, a lot of them we try and highlight different aspects of on grounds that people might not think about. So for example, the first round, the first clue was the first female president. And there's locations on grounds that we deem half of it just oh, everyone should know that. But also things that are overlooked. I think UVA has a lot of history, and some of it is not always talked about. So I think that's also something that we do that is a tradition that we to implement our foundations and ideas.
Did you guys see a lot of participation in the scavenger hunt?
We were so happy this year. The first round had over 70 people who completed and got the right answer. So this year we wanted to make the first round very attainable. So we were happy to get that many people. And so one of them will win. Our second round right now is going on. and it'll end on Halloween. But to have 70 people, we were over 70, we were thrilled with that we got that much engagement with it.
So just kind of a couple questions about membership. So what do you guys kind of look for when you're inducting members into the society? Like what sort of qualities or traits do people decide to usually have?
So we try to look for people who are already like contributing to grounds, but not like who you would think in the big spotlight. It's not like we're not looking for exactly presidents of things or large faces of people, but more we really look for people who are not already recognized or put themselves in the spotlight, but are doing the work, the groundwork, who we really think will want to work to recognize more people on grounds and have the mentality of working selflessly because we do put in a fair amount of work, but no one knows it's us. We don't put it on resumes. And I feel like a lot of people on grounds and in different orgs do things just for notoriety and for like, because, oh, look, I'm the president of this or that. But I think what's cool about most secret societies that I've learned is that we do it just for the benefit of good and not just for our name. So trying to find people who are hard workers, who are already doing good work on grounds, but aren't putting themselves first and aren't selfish kind of people, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's really awesome. And then, so when, if at all, do your members ever reveal themselves, or is it sort of a secret for life?
It's up to the member themselves. Some people choose to reveal at graduation, and some people choose never to reveal. And it kind of is, we leave it up to how comfortable people are and what their personal choices.
I'm Maddie Zipper, WUVA.